webinars, free courses left and right, right? And we found so many mentors. So this is the time that I found 3 very beautiful mentors who have guided me throughout the pandemic to thinking, what will I do? What will I do? What will I do in this online community? In this online, and also our a pension house that's 18 years old. We had to say good. At 20,
14. Hello, good afternoon, good morning to those who are watching us live or on replay. This is Working Moms Academy's live webinar, and today I had the opportunity to interview one of the most inspirational person I met, Mommy Myrna Natividad. On this interview, I asked her questions about business and life. Our topic for April is about abundant April. So it's all about how can you have abundance in your life and in your business. And in this interview with Mami Myrna Natividad, she shared her whole life, how she succeeded after struggling in 20 businesses. Yes, do you want to be successful in your business? I believe it. You don't need to fail 20 times, but let Mami Myrna share with you nuggets of wisdom so you can succeed in business and in life. And for those of you who don't know me yet, let me introduce myself. My name is Wanda Kalupig. I'm the lead trainer, coach, and founder of Working Moms Academy. Working Moms Academy is about helping women overcome stress and burnout so mothers can become better parents, partner, and people. And Working Moms Academy have a coaching, group training, and of course, a community of mothers helping each other. Join our Facebook support group for free and watch out for upcoming live webinars. And on Mother's Day, we have a special live interview featuring different parenting styles from different cultures in India, Puerto Rico, Malaysia, Australia, and so much more. So today, let us watch Mommy and hear her notes and her wisdom on how can you succeed in life and in business. Challenging. When I moved from employment to entrepreneurship, they're like, it's a totally different world. So what inspired you and where did you get your business idea? Because that's the most difficult part, really, getting the business idea right.
Yeah, so it's a long story. I hope you have time for that.
We do have all the time for you.
Okay, thank you, Wanda. So actually, I never even in my wildest dream imagined that I would be a businesswoman, right? Even as early as 3 years old, because I went to school when I was 3 years old. I think I fell in love with the idea of being a teacher. So my dream has always been to be a teacher, regardless of who asked me. Even when my father wanted me to go to and take up a business course when I was going to college, I still said that I wanted to be a teacher. I think that has always been my calling. So I had simple dreams, just like any Filipina that you would ask. They would just want to finish college, get a job, get married, have 2 kids, hopefully a boy and a girl, right? And the plus one would be maybe a house and lot, and then with a car. So those are the typical Filipinas dreams, and I had that too, right? So at 25, at 25, I think I was the happiest woman in the world. I did not have the house and lot and car yet, but I was already married and I had my first baby, beautiful baby girl. So I was also teaching at that time. So we had it made. We were just gonna work for a house and lot. My husband was employed. But then when my baby was 1 month old, we suddenly found that my husband lost his job actually, just when the baby turned a month old. So I ended up being the breadwinner. And that was okay. It was okay. It was just a temporary setback. So I did not have any problem with that. But month after month, as I was counting my salary one day, when I received it on a payday, suddenly I realized that my salary wouldn't be enough for my baby's milk. And that's the worst thing for a mom, right? A mom would die for her baby. And knowing that my baby's survival was threatened. So that was really an awful experience for me. So I suddenly my brain started to panic. I was on overdrive and I started thinking, what will I do? What will I do? What will I do? I could no longer be tutoring other people because I'm already here 8 hours in school. So how else can I receive other sidelines, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing that was open to me was to sell something. So don't get me wrong, no, I'm not really the PR person. I'm really basically shy. Even if I was a teacher in school, I would go to the faculty room and then I would not socialize with the rest of the faculty members. I'll be staying in one corner and reading something or doing my work. Okay, but just thinking about selling something made me really, really scared because I also had belief systems about selling. I thought selling was taking advantage of people, and I did not want to have any part of that. But then when I saw that there was really no choice for me but to sell, so I started talking to my co-teachers in the faculty room. I asked them, is there anything I can sell you because I really need extra money because my baby would not have enough for milk. So and they were nice. Some of them said no, but some of them said yes, and some started by asking me to sell them rice in sacks that was 50 kilos at that time. This was the 80s. I don't think you were born yet. But anyway, so I sold rice with the help of my husband. And then I also sold them eggs in trays. And that went on for about 4 years. So they said, okay, can you sell us this? Can you sell us this? And after I sold them those things, they still wanted.
Hi.
Hi, Jennifer. We're already live on LinkedIn,
First time
Facebook,
I've
and
ever done a
YouTube.
live before. This is the first time I've ever done a live. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I would like to thank you for this opportunity to have you. Let me introduce Jenny for those who don't know her yet. Jenny, okay, let me just get my I met Jenny on Clubhouse. I always listen to Clubhouse, and Jenny is one of the person who I was really impressed by her knowledge. Jenny is the founder director of NewChic Capital, the venture and private equity arm of her single family office. She's also the founder and director of AKA CGG, Chief Glam Girl of Glamit.com, a passion project and a self-running beauty, fashion, lifestyle technology brand. Born and raised in the US, Jennifer had a career as an actress and a model in New York City. Wow. Jennifer graduated with a BA in International Relations from Brown University and received an MBA from Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. So Jenny, I know you're also a serial entrepreneur who held management positions at different companies. And you're also an in-demand speaker. So, I will not go further to introduction. I would like to welcome you to Working Moms Academy. Thank you for saying yes to this interview.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored, Wanda. I know it was. This is actually my first LinkedIn live. I'm quite nervous. I don't know really what to expect. So I hope you'll be able to read the questions to me so that I'll be able to answer well. I'm actually just drinking a lot of water right now. It's a big enough water bottle. Very big, right?
Wow, it's pretty big, right? How many liters is that? 2 liters or more? Maybe 4.
So this is at 3,800 milliliters. And then what I really like about this water bottle is that it tells you in the morning to start drinking. It says, good morning. And then it tells you, treasure yourself, remember your goal, keep chugging, feeling awesome, don't give up, almost finished, and then you did it. It's almost,
Wow.
yeah, I really love this.
Find a bottle like that.
And it's pink, which is one of my favorite colors. Yeah. So I'm really glad that you guys had me today. I was feeling a little bit nervous because earlier my kids, I was doing the parent-teacher conference with them while on the beach on a Zoom, while we had all masks on, and then they would eat the picnic, and then we would stay farther away from people, and then we'd, and then it was just, I think during these times, everyone is a little bit on edge, of course. So I truly appreciate a chance to interact with you off of Clubhouse. I mean, I really thank you again for the opportunity to meet with the other Working Moms Academy today. We're all working moms, and we're all moms. We all work.
True. I believe that all moms work. Actually, that's why Working Moms Academy, I agree with you. Everybody's on the edge now. When I started Working Moms Academy, it was last year, 2020. I was feeling depressed already. And I was thinking, what's the best use of my time? And there was a virtual hackathon for female founders in Southeast Asia. And I was like, wait, I had burnout and I've overcome it already. So let me now help other mothers before me to overcome burnout by, interviewing women who have, who are actually successful in their own fields by also doing live webinars. Actually, before this, I had a live coaching call, but also part of Working Moms Academy, other than the live coaching call, live webinars, we also interview successful working moms like you because, I always believe that success leaves clues. And if you really want to be successful, April is all about abundant April. And I was thinking, Jennifer Cheng is one of the best models of success, not only in business but also in life. I mean, I've met a lot of successful women, Jenny, but either there's...
I'm so much. I actually just want to let you guys know too that next time we have an event or community, I'm actually I accepted a new role a few weeks ago. Actually, about a month ago now, with another company called Playground. So if you guys go to Playground and set up your community, then we'll be able to have the events like live streamed on Clubhouse, everything at the same time.
Oh, that's good. Wow.
Yeah, so you might want to check it out. It's called playgroundapp.com. And then what's really great is that I'm planning on having tickets later and having the proceeds of that go to charity, as well as grants for other working moms.
Oh, that's very good, Jenny, because, right now I'm actually frankly, challenged with Clubhouse. I cannot access because of VPN connectivity. I'm here in Dubai. So in the beginning, it was okay. The signal was okay. But as the weeks go by, I cannot really hear anything. It's glitchy. And then I wasn't active anymore. But you're one of those people who really stand out because you are married, you have children, you are successful. Because sometimes I meet a lot of successful women, but either they are divorced or separated. And I was like, I think you don't have to give up a career or a business to have a family. You can have both. So today, let us learn more from you, Jenny. What made you decide to be an entrepreneur?
I'm just wondering how much time we have today, because I want to also be cognizant of time and make sure I don't overrun your questions, because I feel like, you're so comfortable. I feel like I can talk to you all day.
Yeah, that's the problem with me also. I can talk all day. We will finish by 2:00. So I'll try to cut short.
Your time is, because I'm based in Hong Kong, so your time is what time for me in Hong Kong?
So it's going to be 6 p.m. Hong Kong time, yeah?
Oh, okay, perfect. So we have a good chance to kind of get to know each other then. That's wonderful.
Yes, okay. Jenny.
So first, I would like to know, because a lot of mothers want to become entrepreneur, and they said 94% of women want financial independence. And I see you as a very successful entrepreneur. So can you share with us what made you decide to be an entrepreneur, and how did you become successful in it?
Well, I became an entrepreneur. Well, I actually originally became an entrepreneur when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
I was a social enterprise entrepreneur. I gave piano lessons to other kids, and I was a piano prodigy. So I got to a concert level. And I Yeah, so I one of the ways I think you learn better is by teaching, right? When you teach and when you do, you also learn. And that's the joy of having children, because you get to teach and learn through them again. And it's so wonderful to celebrate their little world, see yourself through their eyes and vice versa. So I liked to teach other children when I was a child. And one of the things I did was I taught children for $20 an hour. And then I donated it to our school.
Wow.
And I donated to our school library and our school fundraiser. So there were a lot of little kids in the neighborhood learn from me, and I sold for 10 sessions each. And then some of them actually became like really quite talented little musicians later on and learned with other real piano teachers. So I was able to give other kids a basic, teaching them everything. And that's one of my secrets for actually how my daughter is getting to be very skilled. She's teaching her brother and her younger sister how to play piano as well. Yeah, so my first enterprise. Then my Glamit, which actually, if you could hold on 1 second. So basically, so I just asked my chief of staff to go over and get one of my helpers to find the makeup box that I made. But basically, oh, Irene over here, I need one of the makeup boxes. Peggy went in to find you, but you're over there. Okay. Yes. So what was really funny is that I made this compact with a light, and then you could fit different kinds of makeup in it. It was a makeup compact. So it was really fun because back then when I was thinking of this product, it was actually after my modeling days. And my actress days, because I remembered, oh, life's so busy, and oh my gosh, where did I put all my makeup? And so it was like very easy to keep it all in a little box, like a treasure box. So it looks like this. I'm debuting it to you live because I actually don't have any of these left. This is me. She was in the kitchen. So everybody is all working together. This is wonderful. So what I think is also good about running your house is to have a proper team in place. I run my household almost like a business. So that's how I think of it. Like there's like a P&L, there's profit and loss. And you have to be very efficient to manage your household. Basically, when I was pregnant with my first child, I launched my first company into Harvey Nichols. But I got it into Harvey Nichols. Oh gosh, I got it into Harvey Nichols before I had the product made. So I was like, wow. Oh no, I have an idea for this product, And then they're like, great. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna make it in Korea now. And I had to, at that point I was like, oh gosh. And then I had to fly over to Korea and talk to the labs and then make it. So this is what it looks like. It turns on with little lights, little brushes, and then you fit all the makeup in. And then the funny thing is that I had a launch party at Harvey Nichols, and I gave birth a week later, early. Wow. So these are some of the makeup products and everything that fit inside. Lots of little makeups. Yeah. So I was quite happy about it because currently it was all the products are sold out. So this is one of the ones I have left.
That's very nice, Jenny. I mean, hearing from you, first, it's about looking at your talents, right? You said you started at 9 as a social entrepreneur, right? And then also, I mean, I can feel so much that, you
I forgot to tell you something else, though. That was my first company.
Okay.
So the first one that I was one of the, I guess, teams that was the original team, original member of the founding teams, was a company called, it was a small company back then, but it got really big, really fast. It grew really fast. And it was one of those companies that just within a year and a half, it IPO'd. So from start to finish, I joined it, and then within a year, I was making a lot of revenue. And then it IPO'd at the I remember it was just breakneck speed because you have to be a multitasker. So I just remember being in the taxi cab, writing, on my phone, writing the script, the copy, everything. And then meantime, having to send it into production. And then I would then be talking to the client. So I had to multitask a lot. And so by the time, and then before speaking engagements, everything, I remember I had like my 2 sales girls next to me. And then they would make sure like everything was like all shipshape for I wouldn't even call my sales girls, sorry, business development. Because I also think that's another term that people need to think about, because when you do sales, when you increase revenue, it's actually about developing the business. It's not about sales. Sales is very short term. It should be about the business development, of course. Because we shouldn't always think about like things in revenue, profits, and growth. You actually have to think about the intrinsic value you're creating, right? So, okay, so the thing that is like mentioning though is that when my first child was born, I had a C-section. It was an emergency C-section. And so I had launched the makeup brand into Harvey Nichols. But meantime, my previous company was IPOing.
Wow.
So while they stitched me up, I was still on painkillers, and I remember the day my daughter was born very vividly because they said, "Oh, there's a gentleman here to see you," and they had wheeled me into the recovery room, and I was still very tired, and then the baby next to me, and I was just like, "Oh, I feel like so surreal. The baby's out," and then knock, knock, knock on the door. I thought it was my husband, but it was actually the CEO of the company. And he said, "Hi, congratulations on the delivery. And here I need you to sign some papers. Also, here is some whiskey for you. I think it's the Jameson. Can you go get the Jameson whiskey? Or one of the whiskeys? Oh, the McClellan, the old McClellan, the one next to it. Yeah, that one. I think it's that one." So we have not really touched it. This was McClellan that he gave to me when my baby was born. And I was just, that was so special. And I also said, "Are you kidding me? I can't drink right now because I'm breastfeeding." Right? So I thought that was very funny. I can't believe we brought this out. Yeah. So I love it. I love having this right here and reminding me of that day. Thank you so much. Right. So we will keep that in an easy to remember place from now on too, because it's very momentous. I can't believe that we still have it.
Yeah, that's a very good visual reminder for you, right? I mean, having that baby and then going for IPO, launching a company with Harvey Nichols. I mean, that product is very good. So can you tell us what were those challenges that you had when you were launching your business?
Oh my gosh. Everything was a challenge. But I don't think it's necessarily a challenge, more like a learning opportunity. You forget actually that things are challenging when you go into sort of autopilot, build mode. And that's kind of what I do, build. When I say build, I mean like I'm always trying to make sure that we're creating value. I'm always trying to make sure that I'm multitasking. Let me just pack this away nicely, save my products. And it was like a really, it was called, well, the actually is still around, but we're currently out of stock. Yeah.
It's
so
very
we will be resuming more. Well, we're not completely out of stock, but we'll be resuming our regular production when it's safe to travel. Because I like to personally visit the labs myself in Korea. I like to personally make all the site visits.
That's very good, very personal, right? Now, in terms of the challenges, can you give us at least one challenge that you had and how did you overcome it?
So, so apologies. I was talking about the obstacles we face about autopilot, and I wanted to say the challenge of having to be in person was what I was, because I like to touch the product. So one other obstacle about how I overcome things is that like I feel like Clubhouse is like a club. You don't know what people are really like. You like meet there, you're like in the dark in the club, and then you hear the person's voice, you can see about them, but you don't know what they're like until you see them in real life. And if it's not possible to see them in real life, the next best thing is over a Zoom, over a WebEx, over a video call, over apparently LinkedIn Live, like you. So I feel like you just actually overcame one of my biggest challenges, which is like, you know, the challenge of in-person meeting. And you actually just demonstrated that just now with this LinkedIn Live. So that's an example for you. Another challenge I had was basically leading. I believe a lot in trying at least to lead by example. It's hard. We're all human. And I always get caught up in, oh gosh, everything needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be perfect. I have that anxiety. I don't know if you can tell that about me, but I'm kind of a perfectionist. I'm not sure you can tell a little bit. I have to make sure I have to make sure I'm wearing all the right jewelry. I have to make sure, like, you know, everything on my hair is in order. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. And I feel like one of the things we have to realize about the human condition is that we are human. And because of that, we're able to kind of iterate around the different possibilities there. And I think the most important thing, too, is to try to keep your calm. It's so hard. It's so hard to try to keep. And it's such a I think it's such a obstacle that that I think regularly. I think a good thing to do is like yoga practice, deep breathing, meditation. You know, mindfully just chewing your food. You know, mindfully enjoying, you know, being with your children. Mindfully, like drinking some water and saying, wow, this is good. So I do want to say though that it's not just being mindful and being present that is always an obstacle, I think, for a lot of working moms. But the other challenge is having enough time to do everything, right? So one of the other things you have to learn to do is to delegate, to let go, to say like, look, I know sometimes I'm a control freak, I want to do, but you know what? Maybe it's better to have someone else handle it quickly. So that way I can get back to the people I love, right? It was actually for the longest time, I didn't really have a regular chief of staff. And then now, about a month ago, I got one. Really happy. She's the one who set up the interview. You may have seen her just walk by briefly with her back, but she's sitting over there with a mask on. You probably won't recognize her. Yeah.
So that's very good. I think, you know, you're not alone, Jenny. I mean, a lot of mothers, actually, a lot of individuals, not only mothers, you know, it's how about to stay calm, right? Especially now with what's happening. That's the number one challenge. And I agree with you, being mindful of how you eat, you know, being mindful with your children, just being in the present moment is something that can give you so much calmness, knowing that all is well now and it will always be like that. And as you said also, it's about managing your time. Last week, I had this live webinar when a mother shared 4 things: do, delay, delegate, and delete. So she said, if you want to manage your time, there are 4 Ds that you need to remember. So as a mom and as an entrepreneur, how do you manage your time? I mean, I know there are many things on your plate. How do you dedicate that this is husband time, this is children time, this is business time? How do you do that?
It's really hard because sometimes, like, I think as moms, we don't know when to shut ourselves off. We're just doing. And it's so, I think it's a constant struggle for me, especially since I'm like a very proactive person. I just want to be doing something. It's hard for me to just relax. So I feel like we have to schedule in those relaxed moments. We have to schedule those. One thing I like to do when I like to relax, this might sound really silly to you, is deep clean. And
Oh, wow.
and then be like out. And that's actually one of the things I really like to do. I don't know why. I feel like something that's it's something that's left over from my mother. She's also very much a perfectionist in some ways. Yeah, yeah. So I really just want nothing more, I think, than to make time for the people and the things that matter. Prioritize. That helps. You can't do everything in a day. There's always tomorrow, right?
True.
There's always there's always another way to do something. There might not always be, it might not just be one way only, right? So sometimes sometimes people are like, who are very type A are like, oh, that's the only way to do it. And then I think the best thing to do is to have that growth mindset and realize like, well, just now, like, Irene, you want to come say hi? So Irene, Irene, for example, I really adore her because she arrived when my daughter, I was pregnant with my third. So I had my third right before COVID hit. Well, not right before, a few months before COVID several months before COVID. So she's like a year and a half now. Yeah. So I remember back then just thinking like, like there's something different about having a child for the third time. It was actually the only time I enjoyed being pregnant. Because the first 2 times the babies came early. I was very stressed out. And I really didn't have that much time for myself. But the third baby, I made sure to do Pilates, try to reform my body, try to help myself. Because the problem was that I had an accident where my sternum was broken. And sometimes I still have a bit of chest pain in that area, it was actually, and then I had shoulder surgery. And so I remember like basically helping my body slowly heal and then being able to have that third child, like a sort of miracle birth for me was amazing. And it made my body stronger. And I had actually suffered a lot having my son. He was emergency C-section. He was my middle child, and I had a rupture of my membranes because I had, I guess I coughed so much that my water broke. So, but I didn't know it at the time. So they were trying to stabilize me, stabilize my breathing, make sure the baby could stay in a little bit longer. So he came out early, but he was okay.
I learned, Jenny, both my 2 children are all C-section.
All 3 are C-section. Yeah, you have 3 children as well, right?
I have 2. Thankfully, I have 2.
All 3 of mine are C-sections as well.
Oh no, yeah. It's very difficult, right? I mean, I will not go back to the pain now, but I think, when you become a mother, right, you felt that you have the chance to become born again, right? To, as you said, to appreciate life on a different perspective. And when you have that baby on your arms, you're like, oh my God, this is a new life. Yes. And then, you try to understand your body also, how it works, and how it can heal itself in the process. And I'm glad you're feeling better now, and everything is well. So that leads me to the next question. How do you take care of yourself? I heard you saying you're doing Pilates. What are the other things? Because as you said, it's very difficult.
Sorry. I actually I occasionally Pilates, if I have access to a reformer. I was doing a bit of more Pilates to kind of just get mobility, but I actually do yoga also for flexibility. And I worked myself up during pandemic, but obviously with help and support and training. So to be able to do a handstand.
Wow.
And then I can do almost a split on one side. So the other side, I can't quite do fully a split yet. But so yoga. The other thing I like to do is boxing.
Wow.
Yeah, but not like right now I can do like a lot of boxing or anything. Yeah, but I mean, that's one of the things that I used to enjoy a lot. Yeah.
That's good to hear. So, Jenny, in your life as a mother, what was the biggest struggle? Where there's a point in time that you just want to stop and just become a typical mother? Because, when you're a mother, you're also into business. There's too many things, right? Was there a point in time that you just want to become a mother? You don't want to do anything else? Did it happen to you? And how did you overcome that?
The most difficult times, you mean, as a mother?
Yeah, true. The most difficult time.
I think the most difficult time as a mother is how you can do conflict resolution with your children.
Oh, yeah. Correct.
Yeah, because one thing I don't want to do is always to tell them like, oh, who's right, who's wrong? Okay, you are more right, you're more wrong. Say sorry. Sometimes it's best to have them work it out, or be like, de-escalate. Because I remember when I was little, it was like, who hit who? Whose fault is it? But actually, it should be like, hey guys, you shouldn't hit each other. You shouldn't, not that they're like hitting each other. Sometimes it's like, hey, that's my toy. That's my toy. But no, actually, I wouldn't say that though. My kids are quite good about sharing. But I mean, like, they do get into their share of disagreements, like any children would. So I think the most important thing is to remember not to take sides, to kind of hear each side out, and try to say like, okay, look, I know that he was, grabbing the iPad from you, but that's because it's now time for you to practice piano. That's why he was grabbing it from you. And then, yeah, you, and then I reframe it. I try to say, oh, you are such a good big sister. So basically the key, I think, is to praise the good behavior and then try to reframe the not so ideal behavior. And I don't want to call it bad behavior because I don't want to have people say you're bad. It's not binary like that. I don't want people to think like, oh, this is good, this is bad, I think everything is on a scale, a sliding scale. So I think it's really good to kind of see it in sort of a different nuance, because the kids see things in different ways. Different generations see things in different ways. The world is very, very different now in so many ways, right? So we all have to think about ways that we can really kind of keep ourselves evolving and changing. So I think the most difficult thing to do is to like let your children know, the only thing that is constant is change itself. You need to make sure that you can keep evolving with the times. It's not like, oh, this is true. I will say also, back when I was younger, this wasn't the case. But now it is the case because, so I was trying to explain to my daughter a little bit about Me Too.
Oh, yeah.
But I didn't really explain it yet. I just basically couched and said like, I think she'll like learn more about the history as she gets older. But one thing I did say, and one thing I think that's really important to know, which is very difficult with children, is that women need to learn how to give consent. To not just, I'm not talking about anything like in terms of necessarily physical. I mean, women need to learn how to say yes to things without just automatically saying yes to things all the time. We are always feeling pressure to say yes to, oh yes, I'll take this project. Yes, I'll help you with that. Yes. Boys oftentimes are told to just ask for things and expect to get it. So that's why when I talk about consent, I mean, it's how my son, for example, I say like, look, you can't just take, you need to ask. I'm raising you to be a true gentleman. If you love your mom, you won't do things like that. And the good thing about my son is that he's never hit me. He's always been like, he might like shove a bit, but he'll never go extremely like, he won't start like throwing a major violent tantrum or something. And I've actually seen that with other little boys. And so I'm proud to say at least I think that I'm raising a little gentleman. I hope I'm raising a little gentleman. And I don't want to say gentleman, but more like, because that sounds very prosaic. I want to say that he's more of a compassionate person of his gender, right? And even that, like, I think a lot of these things are very fluid these days too. Like, who am I to say what he wants to be? So I can just kind of guide him. I can't be like, you're doing this, you're doing that. Because when you say you're doing this, you're doing that to a child, that gives them no growth mindset. And then I think in this challenging time when we are not sure about what jobs are there anymore, all we can do is build and invest, build for each other and invest in each other, right? There's no other way. And then we all have to kind of keep evolving as people. So I hope that was what I'm trying to address, because I really think, children are the future. There are non-renewable resource. If we were to have our children, we'd be gone, right? So these children, I think sometimes a lot of people don't realize it's not other things that are not renewable resources. It's when I talk about impact investing, actually, it's impact is the children.
True.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think, in Working Moms Academy, we said we want to become better parents, partners, and people so we can raise future generations on a different way. Because as you said, the world is constantly evolving, right? The parenting techniques of the past is not working anymore. So I agree with you. I mean, you cannot say to your child, you're right, you're wrong. So I always tell my children, right is wrong, and wrong is wrong to you. Every person have their own perspective. So let's discuss solutions. So that's how we resolve conflicts in the house. What is the solution here? So that is how it's working. Now, in terms of your life as a mother, how do you motivate yourself every day? It gets tiring, right? So how do you motivate yourself in the morning to continue your business, to continue your advocacy? What keeps you going?
Oh man, there is, this, I hate to say this again, but it's my children. Just like being able to see their little smiles, like when I'm having, picnic with them or dinner with them, just being able to see their eyes light up when I come home. Just to be able to see their little expressions of wonderment when they're discovering what they think is new, and all their little faces, all their beautiful analogies and metaphors they come up with. It's amazing. My daughter said to me the other day, and my son was saying this as well. She's like, "Mommy, is the sky blue?" And I was like, "Yes." And then she said, "But what if someone else sees it and my blue is their red?" And then my son was like, "Yeah, what if the person is colorblind?" And by the way, my son is 4 years old. And I'm like, "Well, colorblind is seen in shades of gray. And but they don't know that there's other colors. They might just see that." And I'm like, that's interesting. So I'm actually sometimes I wonder if my son is. This is funny because sometimes you will never know someone is colorblind. And I hate to say that he's colorblind. He's not. He's so specific about those color by numbers.
So my daughters are.
Maybe he sees everything in gray and doesn't realize it, right? Who knows? I mean, we might have different optical nerves, and I mean, I'm reading too much into things. But all I wanted to say is that no one sees the world the same.
True,
right?
true.
So when they said that to me, I was just like, huh, that's so provocative. Like your sky, that might be green to you, mommy. And I'm like, oh, that's true. And I remember having the same thought when I was little and thinking like, amazing, my children are also having these thoughts. So that proves to me that sort of that abundance of the human experience, that a lot of it is quite universal. You know, they might be exploring a different country and also feeling the same things. And that's why sometimes one of the things that makes me really sad is seeing species go extinct, seeing the population of the world ebb and flow, seeing how we as a species are evolving. And I say that because my children said that, like, you know, we're all like, they really see animals and robots as pets. Actually, we have a robot dog over there. Okay. If you can grab it for me. Do you mind if I go grab the robot dog?
Yeah, of course. You have a robot pet. That's interesting, right?
We have several, yeah.
See, I think I agree with you. Nobody sees the world the same. And if you accept that, if you respect that, you will see the world from a different perspective, right? So, and the kids are the one who will always open your eyes to new things. I mean, my daughters are the one who keeps on telling me, you know, mommy, I think you should do things this way. You know, they're actually, if you listen to them, they have so much wisdom. So for those mothers, I think, you know, this is the time for you to get as much information and learn as much from your children, right? Because this is the best way to grow and learn as well. So that's very interesting. So Jenny, what do you think is your advice?
Our robot dog.
That's a robot. God, that's
Yeah,
very
and then
cute.
this is our robot cat.
Oh.
Yeah. So I just wanted to say that, like, you know, right now we had a dog that passed away a few years back, and we didn't want to get another one right now during COVID. I think we still want to, but it's been really hard. We miss her, but then in the meantime, we got some robot pets for our kids. And then there's actually other robots we have around the house, but I don't have time to look for them. Yeah.
That's very cool, right? Is, you know, robot pets to replace the one, you know, you haven't recovered yet, so you can get a robot pet for now.
Actually, we do have the one that we hello, we have cockroach. I have a little cockroach. So we actually do have my dog as a pet. We recreated her as a stuffed animal.
Oh.
But she's not actually. It's not actually her. They just made her look like her.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's interesting, right?
Yeah. So it's just something I'm just quickly like getting out here for all intents and purposes, because our children really miss having the dog so much.
Fully understand that. So Jenny, for those mothers, what is wow, that's very cute.
Yeah. Oh, and the baby just walked by. Baby, come say hi. No, she said hi. So this is the baby. Say hi. Baby.
Oh, she's very cute. I miss having babies though. Very cute. Hi.
Hello. So she's
so this is the mimic of the dog that you lost.
Yes. This is the mini of the dog that we lost.
That's very cute. So Jenny, what's your advice to mothers? How can they be successful in business and at home? What is your advice? What should mothers do to have it all?
I don't think there's a thank you. I don't think there's one way of having it all. I think there's many ways of having it all. You just have to let different parts of your life slide. Like right now, I'm giving you time that I will never get back. That means that you're very valuable to me, right? Because the thing is, the thing I like to say is that there's a Chinese saying: 1 inch of gold doesn't back even 1 minute of time.
True.
It's in Cantonese. I didn't learn Cantonese either. That was another thing. I didn't learn Cantonese properly until I moved to Hong Kong and got married to my husband's family, because they speak predominantly Cantonese. So I met him, and within, gosh, it was like a couple months we got engaged. And I that's why I'm so sorry. I feel like I've gone off a tangent. What was the original question?
What is your tip if you want to succeed in business? What are the 3 things that you want to give us advice?
That's why I talked about him. So the first thing that's exactly why I talked about him. I think more important than anything else to do, more important than anything at all, is to find the right partner.
True.
You don't have the right partner, whether that's in your business or in your life, then it's not going to work, right? So a lot of times I tell people, like, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. You just have to make sure that you're always, if it's your partner, I think you always have to make sure to check in with your partner. You have to check in more. You have to let them know you miss them. I think a lot of us, for example, take for granted the fact that someone married you. So I think one of the ways to try to keep a marriage strong and long is by making sure that you're always checking in with each other. And that is actually true with the team too. You have to always make sure that you schedule those check-ins. And one thing that I'm actually waiting for Peggy to do for us. My chief of staff, is one of the things I've always wanted her to do is to schedule more fun things for us to do. So I was thinking of having something like Scrabble night, or like playing virtual games together, like once a week, because there's some of our team that are like in other parts of the world. Do you think it sounds like a good idea? And we can do all of us play chess or Monopoly together. And that's actually one of the things I wanted to do with Playground. We could actually do it, all of us at the same time, using our Playground. Because then we could all play together in our Playground. That app I told you about, the Playground app. Yeah. So, yeah.
That's very interesting. One of the things I was thinking for Working Moms Academy in the future, our children need somebody to play with, right? And they get bored with their sisters also. So it's good. And everybody now is online. So if kids can play with other kids around the world, because like for my children, they play with their friends in Canada, in Philippines, in Dubai. So I was thinking, I think in the future, for mothers also to be comfortable, right? That your children are playing with the right people. I think your idea with Playground is something that will be useful, not only for mothers, not only for individuals, but also for children, Johnny. Because, I myself, whenever my children are playing online, I'm very cautious. Who are you playing with? What is the game about?
Yes.
Because,
so
right?
Yeah, what you actually just said right now was absolutely perfect. And it brings me to my next segue. So you have to pick the right partner. You have to remember to play and have fun. But the other thing you also have to remember is that you are playing and engaging with the right people and in the spirit of play. Like, you are really kind of just making sure that, everyone is a friend, and everyone is not everyone is a friend. I wouldn't everyone has a pure motive to be there. I think that is you don't want to be business partners with someone who has an ulterior motive. So when I talk about that purity, I think you need to really reflect on yourself, like what that looks like. When it comes to purity of life, when it comes to the purity of your relationships, and when it comes to the purity of, I guess, the work you do. Because, I mean, we want to leave, I mean, all of us are going to eventually not be on this planet anymore, not exist, right? So the only thing we can make sure is to make sure, the only thing we can ensure is to really have that sense of legacy, the sort of I would call it more like if anyone were to give testimony on the sanctity of your spirit and your character, then they would be able to do so and vouch for you in that kind of a way. Because I just want to make sure that when and if I pass away, that people know me for being a good person. I think that's the most important thing. You want to leave a spirit behind of being a good person, and that's why I'm so like interested in. Oh, I just realized that's why I really like you guys, because I'm really into hearts. This logo is girl and good as hearts. And your women, I just realized Working Moms Academy is
also heart, with the
that's
mother.
why we agreed to this. I think that is probably one of the reasons why I agreed. I think there's a lot of brand alignment here. And when I say brand alignment, it's your personal brand. And when people say, "Oh, what's your personal brand?" I actually think personal brand is just you being authentic, you being unabashedly yourself. There's such thing as like, you know, a fake personal brand, or I do understand branding, but the idea of like your personal brand sometimes gives me the shivers, because I'm like, I don't do everything in my life thinking of like how it looks as a brand. My life is not a commercial, right? So I feel like the last thing I would say is that you need to live on your own terms. You're not living your life for others.
I love what you said, live life in your own terms. And you spoke about legacy, right? I mean, I myself, I learned that, this life is more not about me, but it's more about the people that you touch, right? It's more about the people that you help. And if we can leave this planet better than we arrived, then I think I've made something. And as you said, if somebody will remember you as a good person when you leave, then that is something that will truly make you happy. So we're almost 2 minutes left. So Jenny, can you share if one tip? What
I'm
one
so
tip?
sorry. I realized 2 minutes left. And I cannot answer any of your questions. So I answered the time management. I'm looking. Can you still see me right now? You can, right?
Yeah, I can still see you. Okay,
good. And I'm just looking at questions really quick. How do you manage your time? Oh my God. What tips can you give anxious moms to just go for it and pursue their enterprise? Okay, look. I call it like standing next to the swimming pool. Okay. There's a swimming pool. And are there sharks in there, or do you just think there are sharks? It's a swimming pool. If there's no sharks in there and you don't see any sharks, then just jump in. Maybe jump into the shallow end, but just take one toe, dip your toe in, and then just jump in. That's what I would tell you.
That's a good tip, right? If you're anxious about something, sometimes, as you said, it's in the thought, right, that there's a shark.
And the other thing that you mentioned, how do you motivate yourself? Was I able to answer the how do you motivate yourself?
Yeah, actually, you're able to answer most of the questions. I think there's one question left for me. If there's one thing as a tip that you want people, one tip to success, what would that be?
I'm actually going to give you a special treat.
Okay.
I'm going to play the piano for you.
Oh, wow, that's good. I know you have a very good you have a title piano, right? I mean, what is that in your profile? You're a grand pianist. Is that how they call it?
It's a Steinway. It's
Mm,
it was my wedding gift.
wow.
So what would you like to hear? I'll play something very short for you as my final segment.
Okay, let's hear that.
My final tip. I was able to give most of it. Oh, what do you do? Do you mind if I go over by like a few minutes?
Yeah, of course. Anytime. It would be good, yeah, to hear from you.
Okay. So, and I really appreciate my chief of staff behind the scenes trying to balance my laptop for me, like from this piano. So, okay, how do you handle your business during a pandemic? Like you would in any other way. The pandemic just means that you have to think of ways around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the pandemic is actually a way for us to get more innovative and creative. It actually accelerates things. It makes us go even faster into warp speed. So don't look at this as a look at it as a time of change. Very hectic change. I mean, people were able to keep businesses alive during wars, right? And what's happening right now is a time of great upheaval, and we're all fighting a war against a common enemy even, right? So I think we need to think about it. Oh, are you still there? Or did you freeze? I think her internet is frozen. So let me see if Wanda is still here. Right. Okay. You still there? You still? I'm backstage now. Okay, I'll wait for her to come back out. Oh no, I have a little tinnitus. Can you, are you there?
Hello?
Oh, are you back?
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can't see your screen.
Oh, I've always been here. Sometimes that's a problem with StreamYard, the connection, right? When a lot of people are using, I can see you, but you can't see me.
Okay, is it still recording
Sorry
or no?
for that. Sorry.
Is it recording or no?
Yeah, it's still recording. It's
Oh,
still
okay.
live.
All right. Okay.
It's still live.
Okay.
You can just play it. It's still live. We're live. Even if you don't see me, you'll always be live.
All right. So you're still live, but earlier I couldn't even hear you. It was just kind of.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's like that. Okay, you want to play the piano now?
Yeah. So the song is called "The Moon Reflects My Heart" by Teresa Tang.
Okay.
And the reason why I like to play it is because we're all under the same moon.
Oh, true.
And,
Yeah.
and "The Moon Reflects My Heart," the singer who sang it died of asthma. She couldn't breathe. So I hope for all of us in this world that someday we'll be able to breathe properly, that there'll be enough resources that we can all breathe. And I say that anywhere anything happens in any country that's experiencing an outbreak or anything, including right now at the moment, India.
That's good. Okay, let's hear it. I would love to hear.
I hope you enjoyed that.
That's very nice. I can sense the passion. I don't know piano, but I can see my children playing piano. But the way you played it is very different. I can feel the passion and the energy, right?
Oh, it's the shortest piece I play because I just play it by ear because music. So,
Ah.
it's a piece I play because it's a very famous song. I don't have music, so I can play different things by ear.
So thank you, Jenny. I learned a lot from you about children, business, managing the husband, revolving in the
So,
pandemic.
Actually, that was my answer to what do you do when you get stuck and motivate yourself every day. Sometimes if I just need to, I go over to the piano and play it out. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll play it out. I'll play a really angry song. If I'm in a calm mood that I want to calm myself down more, I'll play something like, that's just me fooling around a little bit.
I think music is to the soul, right? It uplifts your soul.
It's for the soul, yeah. And I really appreciate you, really kind of ending on that note because that was a pun. Ending on that note because I really love music so much. It's my Chinese name.
Oh, it's your Chinese name. Wow. Wow. I can see the connection and alignment now. The music is your
It's part of my Chinese name. It's one of my Chinese. It's two parts to my Chinese name, but music is one of them.
Oh, I love that. So Jenny, how can people get in touch with you? I already posted. How can they get in touch with you on Instagram, on LinkedIn? Can you just promote whatever product or the playground that you're starting? How can people reach out to you and how can you help them?
Well, I think you can help them by just joining. Download the app. Go see it. There's a lot of creators. There's a lot of communities on there. Sign up, follow them, go and start your own communities on Playground as well. They're going to have a lot of new functions in the next few weeks too. You're going to see the rollout. A lot is happening. So I really thank you too for letting me plug Playground a little bit because the other thing that really annoyed me before was having people say like, oh, what is your website? Where is this? What's this? And Playground is even like, for me, I replaced Linktree with it because I just put my Playground there. And then my website's there, my social media is there, everything is just there. So it's just on my fingertips.
Good.
It's really pretty. If you actually go to my Instagram and click on that link, that's my Playground. Yeah.
That's very interesting. Okay, so I will download Playground and I will get in touch. So thank you again, Jenny, for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for sharing your time, your talent, and all the learnings from you. I wish you all the best.
Glad I could meet you off of Clubhouse today, and the closest thing in real life. And take care. Anyone who's watching or listening, wish you all the best with the rest of your day, your night, or your morning, wherever you are. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. For those of you who are watching us on live or on replay on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn, I have Jenny Cheng with me and she shared a lot of wisdom on how to succeed in life, in business, in parenting, and everything in between. We wish you all to have a great day. God bless you all. Thanks, Jenny. Bye.
Bye.
So,